Hey everyone, I'm Derek Hall, and I want to try to clear up some misunderstanding about President Trump's tariffs and talk about why his tariff strategy is actually a really important part of restoring America to its greatest potential. First of all, this simple diagram here shows why Trump is using tariffs as part of a broader strategy. So for decades, you had the United States with high regulations, high taxes, and a complex tax code, and other countries implementing tariffs and other trade barriers against the United States. That combination has helped drive jobs and manufacturing to those other countries. And also, by the way, some of those other countries have used cheap, inhumane labor, such as child labor or slave labor, to produce products very cheaply and sell back into the United States. Now, of course, this isn't even the whole picture. There's a little more to it. So, of course, those other countries sell their products back into the United States. The United States has become dependent on some of those other countries for certain necessities, and that creates kind of a national security hazard. And also, as part of this arrangement, the United States has been providing military protection to certain other countries. So, this is a big mess right here. Okay, so President Trump's plan seems to be reduce regulations, reduce taxes. I have a question mark by simplifying the tax code because I don't hear that get talked about very much at all, but it should be part of the equation. And of course, he's using tariffs as a negotiation tool to try to get other countries to eliminate or at least reduce their tariffs and other trade barriers. And all of this is geared toward trying to bring jobs and manufacturing back to the United States. And of course, over here, we have fair labor conditions as well. Now, in case you're wondering the extent to which U.S. manufacturing has declined, there are a few statistics off the internet that can help with that. This graph shows that in 1997, manufacturing made up about 16% of the U.S. economy, but in 2021, that percentage has declined all the way down almost to 10.5%. By comparison, a quick Google search shows that the services sector makes up about 77% of the US economy, so that's much higher than manufacturing. And this table here shows the US trade deficit with a number of other countries. So there's a lot of information that points back to the fact the United States needs to restore a lot of its jobs in manufacturing. Now, most of the mainstream media commentary has been just so unbelievably stupid. They criticize Trump's tariffs without really understanding anything about them or anything about the broader plan. So obviously, tariffs might be a bad thing if they all stayed in place and everything stayed the same, but that's highly unrealistic. And so in reality, a lot of things are expected to change. Countries are coming to the table to negotiate. We've got at least 70 reported to have done so far. And there are a lot of companies that are expected to bring their manufacturing operations back to the United States. That's a lot of stuff that changes. It's good. So maybe I don't know why people don't understand all these things. Maybe they just choose not to. So if the tariff situation were static, everything will stay the same and the tariffs will be counterproductive to the economy. But that's totally unrealistic. But in reality, the tariff situation is highly dynamic, which means there are a lot of things that are going to be changing in response to the tariffs. The U.S. and other countries are likely to negotiate and effectively reduce or eliminate tariffs and other trade barriers in both directions. Manufacturing operations are likely to come back to the United States. Stock market might sell off short term, might even happen multiple times, but in the long run, there'll be a rally after the longer term objectives are accomplished. And we'll also get higher wage growth for U.S. workers as more companies come back into the United States. So temporarily, we're sacrificing capital gains in the stock market for high wage growth in the long term. So that's really a good thing. We'll have potentially much better quality U.S. products that last longer. We have no more dependence on foreign adversaries for essential products and therefore no more national security hazard. And this will all make for a much healthier, self-sufficient nation. And that's why Trump's tariffs are an important part of the overall plan. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Also, be sure to visit my channel and check out my video on abolishing the income tax and my video on why the Federal Reserve is bad for America. Thanks.